Okay, just waiting for people to join in. I want to get on here early just in case anyone else hops on early. But fix my hair here. So excited for this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can stare at that instead of me. Actually, I'm going to share. We'll do that. Desktop. There we go. All right. Can you guys see my screen? Hello, hello. When you guys hop on, just go ahead and type where you're watching this from. I'd love to know where you guys are. Get a little interaction going before we get started. Also, that'll help me find the chat box because this is the first time I've ever done this and I have no idea where the chat box is. And also let me know if you can see my screen and hear me. Is that the chat box? Can you guys see this? I'm gonna go ahead and put some links in there. Can you guys see those? All right, can you guys see my screen, number one, and number two, can you see the links that I just shared with you all? And can you hear me? Comment in the chat box, please. And we're gonna wait until 7 to get started. I just wanted to be on here early in case people showed up early. That way you guys can join in. Who's excited? We've got a really fun training plan tonight. I've worked really hard on this PowerPoint or whatever it's called, slide presentation. And I put a lot of good information in there. So hopefully you guys are gonna learn a ton and get some new ideas of ways to implement what you learned tonight and get some awesome results. So I'm excited. But I'd love to know where you guys are watching this from. I'd love if someone could just type in the chat box so I know it works. Something. Because I want to answer questions at the end. So my goal is to keep this to about 40 minutes and then give another 20 minutes for questions if you guys have them at the end of this training. I've also got a little glass of Prosecco. I leave for vacation in the morning, so I'm kind of celebrating how excited I am for this tonight, and also I'm going to Hilton Head with my family. Okay, we got about 6 more minutes. I'm gonna hop on Instagram real quick. Hope everyone got the link. Oh, yay! Perfect. Thank you, Rhonda. Good, good. Okay, so I'm gonna X that out. If you guys do have questions, go ahead and, as I'm presenting, go ahead and just type them in the chat box, and then I'll pull the chat box up at the end. If I can find it again. Okay, and then I'll go through all the questions at the end, so that way it doesn't interrupt what I'm doing and my train of thought, but we can make sure to get to all of your questions. So as they pop in your head, just type them in the chat box, and I'll go through them all at the very end. Also, make sure you guys stick around for the end because we do have an awesome little bonus for you guys tonight who stay, so you won't want to miss out on that either. But yes, as you guys are joining us, let me know where you're watching this from. Put that down there. I am in Lexington, Kentucky. It is absolutely beautiful here right now. We've had the most gorgeous weather. Let's see what it is today. It was so hot and so humid, and then it stormed for like 2 days. And then the last 3 days have been like, 82 and no humidity, perfectly sunny. So it's been beautiful. I think I'm gonna take my doggies for a walk after I get done with this. And this is recording, so if everything goes well, I'm gonna send out the replay tomorrow. So if you guys, I think we had over 250 women registered, but I'm sure only a handful will be able to join live. So hopefully this will, fingers crossed, technology works and we can send out a replay tomorrow for everybody. All right, yay, people are popping on. As you guys are joining, type in the chat where you guys are watching this from. Hello, hello. I'm so excited. I've been so excited for this all day. You guys have no idea. I had so much fun making this. I haven't done one of these probably since college, so this is really, really exciting for me to do for you guys. So hopefully, if everyone loves it, we'll start making this a regular thing. Also, if you guys are not in my private Facebook group yet, make sure you join. A lot of you probably are coming from there, but it's called Healthy Carb Cycling for Women. So you can just type that in on Facebook. And I go live in there 3 times a week. Today I did a smoothie recipe, so I popped on and shared how I make green smoothies. Yesterday I talked about how to cook and what to eat and how to plan for carb cycling. And then what did I talk about on Tuesday? So I would go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday I did how to do homemade zucchini ribbons. So say you want to do zucchini noodles, I showed you a tip for doing them yourself with a little knife instead of having to buy them. So I share really fun little tips every week, and I think I have 1 or 2 posts a day that go up in there as well around carb cycling. And it's a good accountability. We're going to talk a lot about the importance of accountability tonight. So that group I found has been really valuable for accountability. So welcome everyone as you're popping on. We're going to wait until about 7 to get started, but as you pop on, just type in there where you're from, where you're watching this from. I'd also love to know, we're going to dive a little bit more into this as we get started, but I'd love to know why you're joining this, and also how you found out about it. That's a good one. Did you guys find out about it on Facebook? Did you find out about it on Instagram? Did someone tell you about it? I'd love to know how you found out about this. Let me go ahead and, can I move this down here? Cool. Yeah, I'm pretty new to Zoom. I've only ever done it where I'm like by myself making videos. So hopefully I do this all right. I practiced a little bit, but. All right, just another minute. Get everyone on here. Oh yay, my chat box is working. How do you get sound? You should be able to, you guys said you could hear me. Let's see, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. That's not stop. You should be able to, you guys should see a little mute button on yours. You should be able to do like the built-in microphone speakers. I think that's how you do it, or computer audio. Oop. All right. There we go. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a second, so that way I can see the chats as they're popping up. Okay. Thousand Oaks, California. That's awesome. All right. Did you get the sound fixed? Did you figure that out? Some people said that they can hear me, so hopefully everyone can hear me. All right. We'll give people 1 more minute to pop on. You guys should be able to hear me. I have you all muted, so that way as people are coming on, they're not talking and overriding everybody, but you guys should all be able to hear me. Oh, Richmond, Virginia. Nice. Love it. So I posted 2 links in the chat box. I know everybody probably can't stay around the entire time. So if you have to leave early, we're doing a fun little offer if you sign up for trim by tonight at midnight. And that you'll get an email about it after the masterclass, what exactly it is. But there's a link that you'll need. And then also, if you want to download my macro meal planning guide, katehorning.com/cook is a link you'll need for that. So I went ahead and posted those for you guys who can't stick around. You should get a follow-up email when we wrap up this evening with all the information. So, but this is just kind of a double insurance to make sure you have it. All right. So people keep popping on. Yay. Okay. So, oops, my name. So Val and I shared this Zoom for trim, and I forgot to change the name there. So I'm not Valerie. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kate. That's funny. I didn't realize it said that. But I'm going to pretend like I'm Val tonight. Okay, so I'm going to go back to sharing my screen with you guys. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to share my desktop. And then I'm going to get rid of, let's see, I've got more chats coming in. Let me just make sure everyone can hear. Can you not hear me either? Uh-oh, we're having trouble with sound. Oh, it's the same person. You guys should be able to hear me. I think that some people posted that they could hear me. But you might want to go to your Zoom settings and see. Okay, good. Yeah, that's just an individual setting that you have that you can't see. Okay, so I'm going to share my desktop with you guys. And for those of you who are just joining, welcome. I'm going to leave some time at the end for questions. So if you guys do have questions, feel free to post them as we're going along. And then I'll just pull up the chat box at the very end and go through them one by one. But I want to go ahead and get started since your time is valuable and you guys have no idea how much I appreciate you taking the time this evening to spend with me. So I'm going to go ahead and present here so we can see the full screen. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. So I'm Kate Horning. I am one of the co-creators of Trim Bootcamp. I'm a nutritionist and chef. And I wanted to do this training tonight because I am super passionate about helping busy women get results through nutrition and fitness without giving up everything they love. So my whole mission behind Trim, behind a healthy passion, which is also my meal planning software platform we'll talk a little bit about tonight, and my entire business as a whole is really just giving you guys simple strategies to help busy women reach their goals in nutrition and fitness. So I'm going to try to minimize. I don't want to see my face. Okay. I want to see this. So I really appreciate you guys joining me tonight. So the entire presentation is going to be all around how to carb cycle for fat loss. And as you guys are joining, I'd love to know where you're from and how you found out about this training. Just go ahead and type that in the chat box for me. And let's go ahead and dive in. So I think let me see, got to click. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to cover in this training, we're going to understand how to work with your body to burn stubborn fat and build lean muscle. So that's the number one thing that when women come to Val and I and they say, I just can't lose weight, I can't lose weight. One of the reasons that they struggle is because they're working against their body. They're eating too little and exercising too much. They're doing specific things that are working against their body versus working with their body to burn that stubborn fat and build lean muscle. So tonight we're really going to give you a good understanding of how to work with your body for the best results. Okay, we're also going to learn about carb cycling and why it's the best way to see long-term fat loss results. And as somebody who's tried everything out there, I can assure you that carb cycling is a method that's going to give you success if you follow it correctly. Now, there are a ton of ways to carb cycle out there. And one thing that I've seen a lot with people, especially in my carb cycling group, is that everyone's doing something different. And while that's cool, if you want to get the guaranteed results like we guarantee our ladies in Trim, the method I'm going to share with you tonight works. We've worked with over 1,000 women and they've all, not they've all, but everyone who's put in that effort has seen the results. You're also gonna learn how to create your own carb cycling lifestyle because number one, it has to be a lifestyle. And number two, it has to be yours. You can't do the same thing as everybody else because everybody else's life is different. So for me to say, this is what I do, that's cool. That's just going to be a guide. But what I want you guys to do is implement it into your own life to make it sustainable for you. You're going to understand the best types of workouts to pair with your nutrition. So while nutrition is 90% of it, and me specifically being, my background is in nutrition, I'm very passionate about the nutrition part of it. And to be totally transparent, I believe that you can do the nutrition without the workouts and get the results, but you can't do the workouts with no nutrition. So I'm going to teach you guys how to pair them together for the best results. But again, the nutrition is going to be that foundation. So if you guys are struggling getting started, the thing I would say is start with nutrition and then add in the fitness. And that's what we tell our trim ladies. And then we're also going to understand how to meal plan and what to eat when carb cycling so you can stay on track. And this is the most challenging part of carb cycling is meal planning. But again, if you want to get the results and stay with them long term, you're going to need to meal plan. And I promise it doesn't have to be hard. I've been working on creating a healthy passion for over 2 years now as the ultimate meal planning tool. And I feel like we're getting closer and closer each day. But my mission is to really show you, again, it does not have to be complicated. It can be super simple. You can spend 10, 15 minutes a week on it, but it's going to get you so far in reaching your goals. Okay, so what I need from you guys, and I need your undivided attention. So I'm not quite sure how long this is going to take based on, how deep I dive into each thing, but about 45 minutes is what I kind of have set, and then some time for questions at the end. But I need you guys to put your phones away. You can grab a notebook and paper and pen if you want to take notes. I need you guys to have an open mind. I know that a lot of this material can be new, and to be honest, new things to any of us is overwhelming, especially when we're making a change in our life. But I promise if you guys keep an open mind and just listen, absorb it all, and then think a little bit tomorrow about, okay, how can I make this work? It'll work. So just listen and keep an open mind. Don't get overwhelmed. And then also commitment to take action on what you learned. So the number one thing I see why people don't get any success in their life with specific things. So for example, I take a lot of business courses. If I don't implement what I learn, I'm not going to see the results. So no matter how many webinars you guys watch, no matter how many YouTube videos you watch, no matter how many articles you read on nutrition, unless you have an action plan and you actually take action and follow through, you're not going to get the results. I remember a lot in college, I used to be like, oh, I just want to, get this result or get this result or get this result with nutrition and fitness. And, I'd sit and I'd watch hours and hours of YouTube videos and listen to podcasts, and I was never actually doing anything, and therefore I never got the results. So that's something I really want you guys to focus on is, as you listen to this tonight, think about, okay, this is how I can implement this into my life. So as you're taking notes, maybe say, ooh, this is, Kate said this, I can do this. So really figure out how you can take action. Okay, so I'm going to close the book for a second. Okay, so why the heck should you listen to me? So my background's in dietetics. I actually studied dietetics at UK. Found out real quick that the clinical route was not for me, and I quit my internship my junior year, and my mom threatened to make me come home unless I found a new internship. So I scrambled and found an ad on Craigslist, actually, for a culinary school, a little cooking school here in town. It was called The Wholesome Chef, and it could have 4 people there for a class. So I had 4 students. And I started out as an intern, and I basically worked 1,000 hours a week and got no money. And then finally she approached me and said, hey, I'd love for you to teach here. So I started teaching, and that's where I really fell in love with food and realizing what an impact what you ate made in your health. So that sparked a huge passion. I went on to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. That's a mouthful. And I studied holistic health and nutrition. So I became a health coach and nutritionist. And for me, my whole mission, my whole passion, my business has been all centered around helping simplify healthy living for busy women. And for me, the foundation to that is food. I think that when you eat well, you feel well, you get results. So, and cooking to me is the baseline, because if your food doesn't taste good, you're not going to stick to it long term. And that's really my mission with the Healthy Passion, is to make simple recipes that taste amazing. I'm insanely passionate, if you guys haven't noticed, about creating healthy lifestyles and finding strategies that not only get you results, but are sustainable long term. Because that's the number one thing that people need, is not only to make the changes, but to be able to sustain them. It doesn't matter if you overhaul your entire life. If you can't stick to it, why do it? So I always say, if you can't do it long-term, don't do it at all. So for me, I'm all about taking small steps each day and really creating a long-term sustainable lifestyle. Also, I've been studying carb cycling for over 2 years. I found out about it almost 2.5 years ago. I was just on the internet kind of researching and learning, and I always buy the newest books and try to keep up with the latest science on nutrition, and stumbled across it and was really fascinated by the whole science behind it and how it worked. So I started learning, and then I met Val, and she was like, yeah, I want to create this new program, and let's pair carb cycling with intermittent fasting, and let's do all this stuff together. And so I feel that it's such a sustainable way to create a healthy lifestyle that gets you the results, but you're not depriving yourself long term. So through Trim, we've helped over 1,000 women get results using the strategies you guys are going to learn tonight, most specifically carb cycling. Okay, a little bit more about me, just so you guys know I'm also human. I'm completely obsessed with nutrition, and I love to work all the time, but I also have 2 doggies. They're outside right now in the living room, and I'm hoping they're quiet the entire evening. I love to be outside as often as I can. So for me, I work outside, I sit outside and read, I sit outside and drink wine. I just started a garden, so I post every day what I'm harvesting from my garden. So if you guys are on Instagram, follow me, Nutritious Kate. It's pretty funny. I get a lot of tomatoes. I'm from Ohio originally, but I moved to Kentucky for college. I eat pasta with homemade sauce and 1 meatball every Sunday. So I used to be vegetarian for a lot of years, and recently my boyfriend started making homemade meatballs on Sunday. So I have 1 meatball every Sunday. And you can find me most days hanging out in the Facebook group, which I talked about earlier, Healthy Carb Cycling for Women. It is awesome. It's an incredible group of women. Okay, so I kind of mentioned this, but basically I got into health and nutrition from a young age. I've always been healthy, but I never quite felt comfortable in my skin. I studied dietetics, I studied holistic health. I've literally tried every diet out there, from raw food to no carb to low carb to paleo to keto to everything. And carb cycling is honestly the only thing that I've been able to, number one, stick to. It's given me the flexibility that I need, but also the structure. I think a lot of women, we need structure in our lives. It's hard for us to follow a plan when there's no plan. So my mission is kind of to create that plan that's doable and sustainable, but also gets you the results. And that's what carb cycling has done for me. So I can honestly say I've never felt better. Okay, so you're in the right place if you're sick of trying new diets. You're ready for something that you can stick to long term. I want to hear from you guys. Raise your hands. You're dying to find something you can stick to long term. You're ready to see results that you're happy with. You're sick of feeling lost. You want a plan. You love food. Does anyone else love food? And you don't want to give up all the foods that you love to be healthy. And you're motivated and ready to commit. And that's the biggest one here. You've got to be motivated and ready to commit. So raise of hands if you guys can relate. Okay, so the tools you're going to learn so that you can have success with carb cycling. I want you guys to learn how and why carb cycling works. So for me, my background being in nutrition, I'm always all about the why. I think that, and that's in anything in life, when you understand why, you're more likely to do it correctly and stick to it and be successful, versus just saying, oh, I'm going to carb cycle and just do it and not really know why you're doing it or what you're doing. And how to structure a carb cycling lifestyle that fits with your life, because sustainability is key. We're going to travel. We're going to have things come up. We're going to have life changes. We're living our lives. So you've got to find something that works no matter what. For example, I'm going on vacation tomorrow, and I'm going to do my 2 low carb days tomorrow and Saturday, and then I'm good for the rest of the week. So I'm going to stick to my lifestyle, but then I'm also going to enjoy my vacation. Also, I want to teach you guys what works so you can pair your nutrition with your fitness for the best results, and why meal planning is key, and the tools I use to make meal planning doable. Because again, if it's not sustainable, what's the point? So I'm going to teach you guys kind of how I look at meal planning, how I structure it, how I make it easy, and then what foods I eat to make it work. Okay, one last thing before I get started, which I mentioned this earlier, but there are some new people on here. If you guys do have questions, just type them in the chat box, and I'll go through all of them at the end. That way I can answer everybody's questions and I don't lose my train of thought. And then first, I want to take a few seconds and just think about your intention for this training. So if you guys do have a pen and paper, I got my little sticky notes here. Go ahead and write down one thing you hope to accomplish from investing your time in this training. And feel free if you want to share them in the chat box. But I just want you guys to think about, okay, why am I here? What do I want to learn? What do I want to change? Just have some sort of action to take when you're finished with this. So I'll give you guys about 10 seconds, 15 seconds to do that. Think about that, and then we'll move on. Because I truly believe when you have a why and you have an intention, that's when you're successful. All right, are you guys ready to dive in? Yay, let's get started. I had way too much fun making this little PowerPoint. Okay, so first things first, what is carb cycling? So carb cycling is a strategic variation of carb intake. So most carb cycling plans consist of high carb days and low carb days. So one of the most popular ones out there you see, they do basically 2 low carb days, 1 high carb day, 2 low carb days, 1 high carb day, 2 low carb days, 1 high carb day. And while that one works, we've actually kind of come up with our own in Trim that I feel like it's even more conducive to results, and it's also more sustainable because, let's be honest, I like carbs. I don't eat carbs more than every other day or every 2 days. So what we do with Trim is we do a progressive carb cycle where we put 2 low carb days in to deplete those glycogen stores and burn fat, and then we're going to add a high carb day back in to boost your metabolism, and then we go a moderate carb day, which is basically a rest day, to allow your body to rest and repair. And what that does is actually helps your body to build more muscle, because we do need carbs for muscle. So if you think about it, you go 2 low carb days, 1 high carb day, low carb days, again, you're not getting the carbs to rebuild your muscle. And then we add 2 high carb days back in. So I'm going to type all this out. You'll see it on the slides. But in a nutshell, basically, we've created a cycle that allows your body to build even more lean muscle, which as women, we need that for our metabolisms. So you're essentially eating more carbs than a lot of these carb cycling programs out there, and you're getting better results because we've done it to basically just light a fire under your metabolism and build that lean muscle. We're also doing our low calorie and rest days in there to kind of encourage weight loss. So if that is a goal of yours, we strategically add in 2 low calorie days a week to help your body to have that deficit and encourage weight loss in addition to the deficit you're creating from building muscle. Okay, so why do you carb cycle? So a lot of people come to us and they've been on keto, or they've been following a low carb diet for a really long time. And they've seen results originally because cutting out carbs does cause your body to lose weight. However, it's not sustainable long term because it lowers your metabolic rate. And it can also affect your hormone levels. So there's a big reason why women, especially because our hormones are very sensitive, find ourselves at those weight loss plateaus because we're restricting carbs and we're seeing results, and then eventually our metabolisms are slowing, our metabolic rates are slowing, our hormones are getting screwed up. So honestly, we just plateau, and the only way we can get past that is restrict our calories even further to lose more weight, which again, if you're not getting enough calories in, you're slowing your metabolic rate. And I think that's a huge misconception, which has changed over the last year or so. I think people are starting to realize like low calorie is not the way to go, because what happens is when you cut your calories down to say 1,200 calories, you're creating a little bit of a deficit, but you're also not able to build lean muscle to boost your metabolism. So 1,200 calories is the only way you're going to be able to maintain or lose weight. Once you get to a comfortable weight, you're going to have to go down to 1,100 calories. And we're going to have to keep reducing until there's no way you can possibly sustain your life. So what we do with carb cycling is we actually up your calories, and we're creating a fuel to fuel your muscles as you're working out, and then you're going to be building lean muscles, which is going to boost your metabolism, which is then going to create a deficit naturally, so you're going to lose fat. So it's a really cool way that we're kind of manipulating your body to get really good results, and it actually means you get to eat more, which is cool, right? Okay, so what does carb cycling do? So it allows for planned high carb days that increase your thyroid output and helps control hunger. Because you're cycling your carbs, you also have low carb days to offset your high carb days. So basically you're going to see fat loss, you're going to increase your energy levels, you're going to improve your body composition because of the way you're manipulating your carbs. Your carb cycling is going to actually improve insulin and helping your body to store less fat. And then also, if you're going to go the next step, when paired with effective workouts, it can help you break through those dreaded plateaus and look and feel your best long term, which is our goal, right? Okay, so with carb cycling, we're manipulating where our body gets its fuel from. So our body naturally, its favorite form of fuel is carbs. It's the easiest, most accessible form of fuel. So carbs allow your muscles to be full of glycogen, which is really easy for our bodies to take that glycogen and turn it into energy, which fuels everything that we do. So we need energy, obviously. When we're constantly feeding our bodies carbs, we're constantly feeding those glycogen stores. Our body's always burning glycogen and never really has to touch that fat. And to be honest, we hold on to fat a lot of times because just in case, we end up starving, then we have fat to keep us alive. So it's a protective thing that our body does. However, once you go through and you deplete that glycogen, your body has to find another source of energy to run on. So essentially, by depleting that glycogen, your body's going to dip into those fat stores and start to turn into a fat burner versus a sugar burner or a carb burner. Makes sense, right? So you're probably thinking, then why don't I just get rid of carbs and burn fat all the time, right? Which is what a lot of people come to me that they've been doing. They've said, okay, all I've done is, gone low carb. Why am I not seeing results? Well, our bodies are smart. They're designed to adapt. So whatever we do long-term, we get used to. So for example, if we do low carb or keto long-term, eventually our body's like, all right, I've been burning all this fat. I don't want to do it anymore. And it just stops. So eventually you'll stop seeing results. So the very best way to see consistent results is to keep your body guessing. And that's what carb cycling does. So what to do instead? Carb cycle. With carb cycling, you'll plan low carb days designed to deplete the glycogen stores, and then your body will dip into the fat stores for energy. So then just when it's getting used to burning fat, then you're going to add in high carb foods to fill up those glycogen stores, which is also going to fuel those workouts and keep your body guessing. Now, to be successful with carb cycling, you've got to follow a plan. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to start carb cycling today and just do low carb day, high carb day, low carb day, high carb day, whatever. You've got to follow a plan, and you have to realize that it takes time for your body to change. You're not going to see results overnight, so it has to be a commitment. We tell a lot of our ladies in Trim Boot Camp that the first 3 weeks, you're probably not going to see any results. You're going to feel better. Your clothes might fit a little bit better. You're going to probably have more energy, but you're not going to see weight loss results until about week 4 to 5. Because that's when our body starts to get into this cycle. And then all of a sudden, our metabolism has been boosted because number 1, we're eating carbs. Number 2, we're getting our calories in. And number 3, we're lifting to create lean muscle that's going to boost metabolism. By week 4 or 5, the fat just melts off. So our ladies, a lot of them will email us week 2, week 3, sort of frustrated, like, hey, I know you told me not to get on the scale, but I did. And I've actually gained 2 pounds, or I've actually gained 5 pounds, or I haven't lost any weight. And we say, just stick with it. I promise you that there is a method. And lo and behold, week 4, week 5 rolls around, and they're emailing us like, oh my gosh, I'm down 8 pounds, or I'm down 6 pounds, or, I'm down 6 inches, or whatever it may be. But it's crazy how it takes time, but then all of a sudden your body flips the switch and it turns from that sugar burner to the fat burner, and you see those results. So you've got to commit to this lifestyle. Okay, so then let's find our why. So the reason that most people fail long-term is because they don't think about why they're doing it. A lot of us have those, kind of shallow goals like, oh, want to be looking good in my bikini for Aruba next week, or I want to, feel good in my skinny jeans, whatever. I see a point where so many women, they just feel like crap and they want to change, but they don't put any thought. Most of the time they're sitting on the couch with a bag of chips feeling like crap about themselves, flips the switch, and they're like, all right, I'm going to start a diet tomorrow. I'm going to hit the gym 7 days a week. And they have no plan to it. So achieving any goal takes work. And I won't tell you guys that this is going to be easy, but I will tell you that the more you do it, the more it becomes a habit and part of your life. So typically with Trim, the first couple of weeks are definitely, you got to put in the effort, but once they get into the hang of it, it really becomes part of your life and it's not a big deal. So I want you guys to take that little piece of paper or put it in the chat box about why you want this. Why do you want to get healthier? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to start carb cycling to see results? Maybe it's because you want to have more energy to accomplish more. Or maybe it's because you want to set a good example for your kids. For me, my why is because I want to feel good every day so I can empower women to feel good. So for me, like what gets me out of bed every day, what gets me to the gym, what gets me to eating healthy is because I want to set a good example for you guys and show you guys, all right, I'm doing it. I promise it's not hard. You can do it too. And I always tell people to keep your why somewhere where you can see it. So I have it in my planner. That way it's going to kind of motivate you when you have a bad day. We all have bad days. So we need something to keep us going. So make sure you write down your why. All right, so now that we have a why, let's go ahead and dive into how. Okay, so to make a carb cycling lifestyle work with your life, you have to have a plan. I kind of mentioned that already. I'm going to go over the plan that we follow in Trim, but feel free to implement it into your life in a way that works for you. So I'm going to teach you what the cycle looks like Now, just because I do a low carb day every Monday, Tuesday, doesn't mean that you guys have to do it Monday, Tuesday. Like I mentioned, for example, I'm going out of town this week on vacation, and I did low carb this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm going to do it again Friday, Saturday, because I'm going to be traveling, and it's a little bit easier to eat low carb in the car than it is when I'm with my mom and everybody. So, for example, our leg days are on Sunday, so our high calorie day for trim is on Saturday. Sorry. We do pasta and meatballs every Sunday, homemade pasta, homemade meatballs. We drink a bottle of wine. So I always do my high calorie day on Sunday versus Saturday, because that way I can enjoy all the food guilt-free. So learn the plan and then make it your own. Today I taught a little video on how to do a smoothie, and I told you guys, learn the foundation, learn the method, and then make it your own. So that's what we're going to do here. Okay, so if you guys are taking notes, this is a good thing to write down. I am going to try to send the slides to you guys via email after this, probably in the morning, so you guys can print them or whatever. But if you are taking notes, go ahead and take notes here. So Monday and Tuesday, we do our low carb days. So low carb basically is 50 grams or less of net carbs. Now with trim, we do progressive, like I mentioned. So we do 50 on Monday and 40 on Tuesday. And carbs, net carbs, are basically your carbs minus your fiber. So if you look at a label, or you look at, the nutrition for Brussels sprouts, it's going to say, 10 grams of carbs and 6 grams of fiber. Therefore, it would be 4 net carbs. So when you're looking at tracking your carbs, you want to look at carbs minus fiber. My thing is, when you get started, start out with 50 and then work your way to 40. So start off with 50 the first week, and then the second week maybe do 50 Monday, 40 Tuesday. And then with your low net carb days, you're going to want to pair some sort of HIIT workout or sprints. Doesn't have to be long, but any cardio that you're going to do that week, you're going to do on your low carb days. Because what that's going to do is it's essentially going to speed up the depletion of your glycogen, and then it's going to kind of force your body to dip in that fat quickly. Okay, so we're going to get our bodies burning fat. Make sense? Then Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, we're going to be doing our regular macro days. I'm going to cover this actually later, so I'm going to leave that out. I didn't want to confuse you guys. Okay, so Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, we're going to add those carbs back in, and we're going to add in weightlifting workouts if you're working out. Now, you're going to follow the macro guidelines that you get in MyFitnessPal, which I'm going to teach you guys how to do that a little bit later. Also, again, in the emails, you'll get a guide. The macro meal planning guide will teach you how to set up your MyFitnessPal. But essentially, you're going to follow the guidelines in MyFitnessPal. We do in trim, we do 45% carbs, 25% protein, 30% fat. So that's what you would follow if you're going to be setting this up. And then basically on Wednesdays, you're going to follow those guidelines. Fridays, you're going to follow those guidelines. And Saturdays, you're going to follow those guidelines. And you're going to pair them with lifting. So for example, we do in trim a full body day. On Wednesdays, we do arms and back on Fridays. And then on Saturdays, we do legs. And then Thursday and Sunday is your rest day. Again, you guys want to make sure that you're making this work with your life. So say, for example, you can't get to the gym on Wednesday, but you can get to the gym on Thursday. You're going to swap your rest days and your workout days, if that makes sense. Now, you do want to make sure that you keep your low carb back to back, because you have to deplete that glycogen to burn fat. So you don't want to be moving your low carb to Monday and Friday. You want to keep it together. And on the low carb or low calorie rest days, you're going to actually do 25% less calories and under 100 net carbs. And again, that's going to kind of pull the carbs back down, teach your body to burn that fat again. And it's also going to create that deficit, which is going to make your body lose weight. Okay, does that make sense so far? I know this is a lot of information. If, for example, I like to go for a walk, I take my dogs to hiking, I go to the sauna, I do yoga, I'll do Pilates. But one thing I see a lot of ladies doing wrong when they do come to us for trim is that they're working out 7 days a week. And that is actually detrimental to your body, because if your body can't repair, it's never going to build that lean muscle. And lean muscle is what's going to get our metabolisms up. So you want to make sure you definitely rest. And don't feel guilty about it. You've worked hard all week. You need to make sure you rest. If you get those workouts in, you deserve to rest. Okay, so to calculate our macros, you're going to use MyFitnessPal. So you're going to start by downloading it. If you guys have your phones, you can do this right now. But you're going to pull up MyFitnessPal. And it'll ask you to enter your height, your weight, your age, your gender, your exercise level, your goals, all of that. My dog's hitting the door. So you're going to do that as you have, obviously you know your information better than I do, and then you're going to select no more than 1 pound per week, because we don't want drastic weight loss here. This isn't a diet, this is a lifestyle. So if you can do half a pound a week, that's probably ideal. 1 pound max, depending on how much weight you have to lose. And then you're going to mark yourself as lightly active. So essentially you're going to go in there and put lightly active, and that's going to give you the amount of calories. It's going to give you the amount of carbs, fat, protein. Like I mentioned, we do the 45%, 25%, 30%. So you'll go into MyFitnessPal and click more, and then nutrition, and that's where you'll find your macro goals, and you can adjust that there. So you're going to take those numbers, and on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, that's what you're going to follow. Excuse me. All right. I've been fighting off a little summer cold. Okay, so let's think about our week. So you absolutely want to make sure you do those low carb days back to back. So say you're like, okay, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's good for me. I'm going to do my 2 low carb days then. You also do not want to do your 2 rest days back to back if you can help it, because if you're doing hard workouts, you need to rest after a workout. You also want to make sure you have a rest day in between your full body workout and any other lifting workouts so you can repair muscle. Okay, so basically what I would recommend you guys do is tonight or tomorrow, take a peek at your work, or at your week, and figure out a carb cycling plan that works for you. So lay it all out and say, okay, Monday, Tuesday, I'm going to do this, Wednesday, I'm going to do this, Thursday, and then make that your cycle. And then if something comes up and you have to change it, that's totally fine. But for the most part, that's what's consistent, okay? So planning is key. Now, this is a question I get all the time, and a lot of people ask me, do I have to do the workouts to get results from carb cycling? And you guys can see here, this is one of our clients. She only did the nutrition for trim for the 8 weeks, or it was 7 weeks when we did it back then. And this is the result that she got. So like I mentioned before, nutrition is 90% of it. While I think working out is so good for your health, I think working out is so good for mental, working out is going to get you even further results. If you can only start with one thing, start with the nutrition. And I always tell people, progress over perfection. You got to be consistent. You got to make a lifestyle out of it. It can't be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go crazy and overhaul my entire life, because you're going to fail. Make progress here. So just get started. So if you guys can commit to one thing next week, it's focus on nutrition, and then add in the workouts. Okay, so now that we kind of understand carb cycling, I want to dive into what to eat when carb cycling. So this is a big one because, again, nutrition is the biggest part. And most of us, we can't eat chicken and broccoli and rice every single day forever. It's just not realistic for me, for you, for anybody. My mission is to really teach you that you can eat normal. You can eat completely normal. You just have to plan it out so you know what can fit into your plan. So with carb cycling, pre-planning is key. The number one reason why ladies in trim struggle with hitting their calories, which is so important for keeping their metabolism up, while staying under their net carbs for the day, is lack of planning. I swear I check nutrition every morning and I see, oh, I was under 400 calories because I didn't know what else to eat because I was out of carbs. That is not good. Your body's going to go into starvation mode, and it's literally going to hold on to every bit of fat, and carb cycling is not going to work for you if that's you. So what you need to do is plan ahead so you know, okay, I'm going to eat all of this, and I know that I'm going to be underneath my net carbs and hit my calorie goal. So that's why I created a Healthy Passion. You guys, it is so awesome because it makes it so easy to know what to eat when carb cycling. You literally put in your net carbs and click a button, and it suggests 2 recipes every day that fit underneath your goal. So we're adding breakfast actually coming next month, but right now it suggests lunch and dinner ideas. Even if you just use 1 recipe from there that day, or I tell most people, like, pick 5 recipes a week to cook. It makes it so easy because you have your macros there, and you can just kind of plug in the blanks to fit the rest. So you can try it out for free at app.ahealthypassion.com. I'll send that out in the follow-up, but it is a key essential tool in helping to plan. Now, you can go on the internet and find other recipes, plug them in, that's cool, but for me, this is kind of like my entire world when it comes to carb cycling. And honestly, especially on the low carb days, I always eat a Healthy Passion recipes. And if you guys were in here earlier, I did drop that link in the chat, so if you want to scroll up the chat, you can see it, a little link to a meal planning guide that I created for you guys. I'll go ahead and link that as well in the email. Okay, so here's how I plan. Now, honestly, my entire life has been nutrition. There are days where I don't pre-plan and I wing it, and I can usually figure it out because, again, my entire life is nutrition. But for you guys, you shouldn't have to. You should just pre-plan, and then you don't have to stress about it. So I look at my schedule for the week. Again, I plan out, okay, these are my low carb days, these are my lifting days, these are my rest days. And then when I have about 30 minutes, I'll sit down and I'll say, okay, let me plan out my meals for the week. And I look and see, okay, when am I going to have time to cook? And when am I going to have to prep ahead? And what I did a video on this Wednesday in the Healthy Carb Cycling group, but what I like to do is actually then look at each recipe that I choose for the week and pick which components can be prepped. So for example, if sweet potatoes are in a recipe, I know those are fine reheated. I'll prep those in advance on Sunday, and then maybe I'll sear off the pork chop that day. So I like to prep little components to speed it up. So then I'll plan out my meals for the week and I'll add them to my list. There's a little list feature that keeps you really organized. And then I'll go ahead and add my meals into my MyFitnessPal first. And that's what helps me to kind of set the base, is the meals. And then I'll look and say, okay, I need protein. I'm going to add in some tuna. I need some fat. I'm going to add avocado. I need some carbs. I'm going to add blueberries. And I'm going to show you guys on the next couple slides some lists of ways to fill it in. But if you guys sit down and you fill in all your meals first, that makes it really easy then to fill in the blanks with snacks and breakfast. So if you're intimidated by meal planning, it does not have to be hard, I promise you. But you really have to start with meals first and then snacks to fill in the blank. And then what I like to do is I actually print it out because I'm a paper person. I love my paper. And I have it in my planner. And every day I just look and see, okay, this is what I'm eating today. I follow along. I like to adapt it. So say, for example, I'm craving something spicy. I'll add hot sauce to it. Say I'm craving something, a little sweeter. Maybe I'll add a little drizzle of honey. You can always adapt things, but at least I have the baseline planned. So get into planning. I promise it'll take you 30 minutes a week or less to plan, and it'll save you so much stress and so much time. So here's what a low carb day might look like for me. So sauteed Brussels sprouts for breakfast. That's something I prep in advance. Hard-boiled eggs, again, I prep that in advance, and walnuts. Super simple. And then a healthy passion, I'm having tofu sag, which I'm mostly vegetarian. So for me, a lot of the vegetarian meals are very, very helpful, especially on low carb days. And then for dinner, I'm having the haddock. So these are both the healthy passion recipes. You can see the code. And it's cool, the code, you actually plug AHP space 022 in MyFitnessPal, and it plugs the recipe right in. So you don't even have to add like every ingredient. And then I'm adding in some Scandinavian crisps with peanut butter, bone broth, and a protein shake. So very simple, you guys. It's not hard. It's just, again, pre-planning. Okay, so then a sample regular carb day might look like this. So I'm a big fan of rice for breakfast. I feel like it's just a really great way to fill me up. And with trim, we intermittent fast. So I usually eat this about 11 a.m. But some sauteed cabbage, Japanese rice, fried egg, and some hot sauce or sriracha. And then I add my Vital Proteins collagen to get some protein in. And then for lunch, a healthy passion recipe, quinoa kale salad. I've prepped this in advance. And then dinner is going to be a healthy passion 005, salmon and papio, which takes 15 minutes to make. And then 2 glasses of rosé because I can fit that in my macros. So again, this is a lifestyle. It does not have to be depriving yourself at all. And then so I plugged in my meals first, and then I plugged in these snacks to hit my macros. So I needed carbs. So I added blueberries, I added hazelnut thins, I added mini peppers, and some hummus for some fat and protein. So pretty simple, right? Okay, so here are a few of my favorite low-carb snacks. And again, I'll send you guys a list with all of this because honestly, I would hang this on your refrigerator, and when you're making your meal plan, pull this up and say, okay, I need some snacks. Like, what am I going to add in that's going to be lower in carbs? So I'm not going to go through them all here now because of time, but again, I'll send all this for you guys to reference later. So if you're struggling to hit your goals, here's some suggestions for carbs. So say you're low on carbs. Here are some whole food carbs to add in. Some apples, chickpeas, oatmeal, bananas, beets, carrots, all yummy stuff. Berries. I do a lot of berries. For more protein, there's some options. So quinoa, salmon jerky, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, collagen, tempehs down here in the corner, or tofu, eggs, protein powder, chicken. For more fat, here's some good options. So nuts, goat cheese, chia seeds, coconut oil, almond flour, dark chocolate. So if you're low on fat, dark chocolate's a great way to get it up. Full fat Greek yogurt, nut butter, beef, sardines, coconut milk, high quality mayonnaise. On my low carb days, I always have some mayonnaise because I love it so much. Avocado and eggs. Okay, so let's talk about the biggest mistakes that women make when carb cycling. So one of the number one is that I see people switch up their days and they don't do their low carb days back to back. And again, we talked about this, but this is essential because when carb cycling, you want to deplete that glycogen so your body will dip into the fat stores. So if we only do one low carb day, you're going to deplete glycogen a little bit, but you're not going to go full to where your body's really going to dip into that fat. So that's why some carb cycles out there, I'm like, I don't understand because they don't fully deplete the glycogen, so what's the point? Another mistake I see women make a lot, and again, this is just because keto has become so huge, is that they go more keto than low carb. So I see people with like, say their normal day is like 90 grams of protein and 50 grams of fat. They're eating 110 grams of fat and 60 grams of protein, or even 110 grams of fat and 70 grams of protein. So they're not hitting their protein, and they're going so far keto that they're getting way too much fat. We're not filling our bodies with fat even on low carb days. What you want is actually to have an even amount over would be ideal, but you always want your protein to be higher. So naturally, we're going to need more grams of protein than fat, because fat has more calories per gram. So most of us, if we get 50 grams of fat, we get 90 grams of protein. That's pretty average, or up from there. So no matter what, you always want to make sure you hit that protein, and then you can go over up on fat all you want, but you never want your fat to be higher than your protein. Also, I see a lot of women, when they do their low carb days, they don't get enough fiber. And fiber is actually key for our metabolism to run. I did a video on that a few weeks ago. It's in the carb cycling group, just type fiber. But I see a lot of women that are eating basically cheese and meat, again, like keto, and they're not getting enough fiber. And if you go too low in fiber too often, your body's going to freak out and your metabolism is going to slow down. So those are 3 mistakes that I see women make a lot. And I think that if you can kind of master those mistakes going into it, you're going to be really successful. Some more mistakes that I see: they don't have accountability to keep them consistent. Consistency is key. I was talking to someone about this today, but most of our ladies who do trim 1 round, they're like rocking it. They think they can do it on their own. They go and they do it on their own a 2nd round, and they always come back because they say accountability is what kept me on track. I need that cheerleader cheering me on. I need people around me who are in the same boat as me. Excuse me. And consistency is key. Another mistake I see, and we talked about this a lot, so I'm not going to go too far into it, but they don't pre-plan. They end up over on carbs, under on calories. Again, harms metabolism, screws up hormones. They switch up their workouts, and they don't switch up nutrition. So if you're going to switch up your workout and say you're going to do lifting on Tuesday, you want to make sure you're doing your low carb Sunday, Monday, and then high carb on Tuesday. If that makes sense. And then also I see a lot of women miss a workout and they double up. You do not want to do that. You do not want to double up workouts, because your body will actually, again, be like stressed out, and your metabolism is going to slow. Also, again, your muscles aren't going to be able to repair if you work out twice one day, unless you're training like an athlete and you're feeling your body like an athlete, which is not how we're teaching you to feel your body. Okay, so how to avoid those mistakes. So number 1 is find accountability. You've got to have somebody there holding you accountable, whether it's Trim Boot Camp, whether it's your best friend, whether it's a healthy carb cycling group, whether it's, you find a group somewhere. But having accountability is key. One thing I see a lot, that the most successful women in trim actually do it with their friends, and they have little group chats going on. So I'll have like one group that's like 5 women, and they're all like, hey, I worked out today. Did you work out today? Did you work out today? I mean, those women rock it. In the group, we make you post your nutrition and your workout every day. So again, we're holding you accountable. So you have to be held accountable, or else you're not going to stick to it. We're all human. Life happens. Things get in the way. So unless you have a plan, you're not going to stay on it. The second one's having a plan. Again, we talked about that a lot. You need to have a plan it out, make it work with your life. Pre-plan your meals. So you've got to make sure you're planning in advance for what you're eating, not flying by the seat of your pants, especially on low carb days. It's a lot easier on regular macro days, but low carb days, you've got to plan. Losing my voice. Understand not just what carb cycling is, but how it actually works. So hopefully tonight has kind of helped you to understand how it works so you can implement it properly. So by now you should understand how to create your carb cycling plan. And if you don't, make sure you comment so I can explain it further. But how to create a carb cycling plan, how to pre-plan your meals using a healthy fat passion in MyFitnessPal. Understanding not just what carb cycling is, but how it actually works. And how to implement it properly. So if you do not understand this by now, I have not done my job. So make sure you comment so I can expand on it if you need more help. But you also, the only thing that I did not give you tonight is that element of accountability to make sure you're truly successful. So I've given you all of this. You still need this. So this is what you guys need to find. So I want to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about what's holding you back. So I think a lot of us, we have something that's holding us back from making changes, whether it's uncomfortable, whether, we don't believe in ourselves, whether it's a financial reason. No matter what it is, if you're not reaching your goal, there's something holding you back. So I want you guys to kind of think about for a second. You can put this in the chat box. why haven't you been able to succeed in the past? What's holding you back from reaching your goals? So for example, for me, I set goals for business, and if I don't reach them, I do a quarterly assessment of, okay, what is holding me back? Is it limiting beliefs? Is it the fact that I haven't invested in something to kind of help me out? So bottom line is there's a ton of information out there on how to lose weight. Take this training, for example, completely free. And I hope you guys feel completely empowered to implement what you've learned tonight and start seeing the results, because I think that, again, we can consume, but until we actually implement, we're not going to see the results. But the truth is, a lot of us are going to leave tonight feeling totally fired up and like, oh my God, I'm so excited to start this. And then our busy lives are going to happen. How many of us feel that way? I know I've done that a million times with business trainings, with nutrition trainings, where I get all excited and I'm like, all right, tomorrow I'm going to start. And then tomorrow is going to be crazy. Something's going to happen. Life's going to take over. And that's completely okay. It happens to so many of us. So that's why I tell people you have to have some skin in the game. You have to make some sort of sacrifice to get what you want. So whether tonight when you get done, you text one of your friends and say, hey girl, I'm starting this tomorrow. Are you going to do it with me? Or you join Trim, or you get a group text together, or you join our Healthy Carb Cycling free Facebook group. You've got to have some skin in the game to get your results that you want. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to do it and have no accountability. So I always say those who pay attention. So you've got to put something into it to get something out of it. So you've got to give up something to get what you want. This is a quote that I actually heard from one of my business coaches, and it stuck with me because it's true. I consume content all the time when it comes to business, and I learn a lot. But the things I've had the most success with and actually stuck with are from the courses that I invested in, or the groups that I've joined, or the things that I've done to put skin in the game to force myself to follow through. Because again, life happens. So while I hope you got everything you guys wanted tonight out of this to reach your goals, and I hope you're truly committed to the success of this lifestyle, and I hope you find a friend to do this with. I will tell you that investing in your health is key, and that's why we created Trim, because while we can do it alone, most of us probably won't. And again, I see it all the time. We'll eventually experience one of these three things: lack of structure, lack of accountability, or the lack of tools that cause us to fail. So when you guys are creating this plan for yourself, make sure it has structure. Make sure it has accountability. No matter what you do, I don't care who or how you find accountability, but make sure you have accountability, because that is what's going to keep you on track no matter what. And then the tools that you need. So a Healthy Passion, MyFitnessPal, those are the things that you need to make sure you're going to stay consistent. And again, failure is totally fine. I failed 1,000 times at 1,000 different things. I'm sure all of us have failed at things over the years. That's okay, but the goal is acknowledging where you struggle, where your weaknesses are, and finding a solution, okay? So I always say fail forward. If you're gonna fail, that's okay, but find a solution to move forward. So why Trim works. I wanna share with you guys a little bit about why Trim works, because we have had so much success from our women, and I'm so proud of them. So Trim provides you structure that we talked about by breaking the education down into day-by-day information, so you're slowly implementing and building a lifestyle long-term. It's not all this information thrown at you and then you're like, what do I do, okay? We break it down daily. Trim also gives you the tools such as workouts, meal planning, access to me, nutritionist and chef, Val, the personal trainer, for 8 whole weeks. You have somebody there holding your hand, giving you everything that you need. So you have the tools, you have the structure. And then Trim gives you the accountability with daily nutrition checks, a group setting to encourage and push one another, and all those people in there that are in the exact same boat as you to help you succeed. So it gives you structure, it gives you tools, it gives you accountability. So just imagine for a second what your life would be like if you could get the results you've always wanted, but you've never felt like you were depriving yourself. Wouldn't that be awesome? Raise of hands. If you had a plan that could easily fit into your busy life. So all of us are busy. Val and I are busy. That's why we designed Trim to fit with a woman's busy life, because life is never going to get slow. There's never going to be a time that's going to be perfect. It's always going to be busy. Imagine what life would be like if you were fit and strong. So that's something I always dreamt about when I was in college. I was like, all right, I just want to feel strong. I want to feel fit. When we created Trim, that was the first time in my life I actually felt that way. Imagine what life would be like if you were more confident and in a better mood every day. And imagine what it would be like if you knew exactly what to do to get the results and that you had the support to make sure you stuck with it. Which again, the reason we fail is because we don't have the support. Okay, so I want you guys to meet a couple of our clients, and then I'm going to share with you as an awesome bonus, and we're going to wrap this up and answer questions because I've got a lot of them popping up. But Hannah said that she was really nervous to start Trim because she had failed so many diet and exercise plans before, and she's so happy that she started it. And these are going to make me cry because I get these sent to me all the time. Trim has completely changed the way I look at food. It opened my eyes to how wrong I was and what I thought was healthy eating before. Kate's recipes are delicious and such a valuable tool to rely on when you're keeping track of macros. I never once felt like I was depriving myself, and I was able to enjoy all my favorite foods. But I ate them in the correct amounts and at the right times, which is so key. That's what carb cycling hopefully taught you tonight. Those workouts were challenging, but exciting, and have given me more confidence in the gym than I ever had before. The accountability the group provides absolutely the biggest reason I was able to be successful. There we go with accountability. I'm excited about my results after my first round and look forward to jumping into round 2. All right, and then Lindsay, I promise there's only 3 of these, but I just wanted to share with you guys, like women like you who have been through this, who have struggled and have now feel like, all right, I got this. So Lindsay says, I know you hear it all the time. If I can stick with this program, so can you. It's seriously true. Is it hard? Yes. Does it take work? Yes. But does it quickly become a routine? Yes. If you stick to it, you will see results. Yes. I can't read. If you stick to it, will you see results? Yes. I need accountability. I need a meal guidance that doesn't feel restrictive, that allows for wine, an occasional sweet treat, and meals out. I need to know that if today isn't great, tomorrow will be better, and trim gives me all of that. After 3 rounds of trim, I'm the fittest and strongest I've ever been. I'm more confident and generally in a better mood. Trim has become my new lifestyle, and I'm excited to see where it continues to take me. I'm down 10 inches overall, including 4 at my waist and 15 pounds. All right, and then last one is Megan. Megan's amazing, guys. I've never been someone who enjoyed working out. I hated going to the gym because I felt so lost. I've been on a weight roller coaster for years, and I would swear off carbs only to crave them and overindulge. And then I'd fall off the wagon. I was looking for something different, something I could stick with. And trim has changed all my bad habits. Who knew carbs weren't bad, right? And given me a plan that easily fits into my busy life. I look forward to working out now and feel like a totally different person than I was 7 weeks ago. I can't wait to see the difference in 7 more weeks and not having to worry about derailing over the holidays. All right, so these 3 women were all completely capable of doing it all on their own, but they thrived because they had the plan, the tools, and accountability. So who's ready for a bonus? And then we'll dive into questions. I know this is a little longer than I thought, but I guess I elaborated a little more than I planned. But I'm going to go ahead and share a fun little bonus with you guys, and then we're going to answer all your questions and wrap this up. Okay, so because we believe so strongly in the power of knowledge and accountability, we're offering a fun little bonus to anyone who joins us for trim. Our next round kicks off a week from Monday, but you have to join by tonight at midnight using the link that I'm sending you guys. And you'll have 1 whole week of access to additional support in a private texting group with Val and I during our discovery week. So that's our very first week of the program. So one thing we've seen the most successful clients have done is that they've been in a private group chat with each other, and they basically like hold them accountable, extra accountable, cheer them on, are there to answer every question. This is something we only do with our one-to-one clients, but honestly, we feel that this is going to give you guys that extra boost to like really rock it. Basically, you'll be able to be at the grocery store like, hey, where do you find these crackers? Or hey, girl, I have this food and this food to choose from. What do I choose? Or I'm going out to dinner. So you have access to us in the group, in the Facebook group, but this group chat will be like instant responses. It'll be something that's going to give you that extra bit of accountability that I think a lot of women crave. And honestly, having access to us means you can talk about anything, ask us anything. So it's going to be a really cool little group chat, and it's going to be the first week of the program. So it's going to be the most overwhelming, confusing week, and you're going to have Val and I like at your fingertips. So that's only for people who enroll tonight by midnight using the link that I posted in the chat, as well as I'll send it out in email. But it's a really valuable resource. And like I mentioned, we've only ever done this for our one-to-one clients, which pay thousands of dollars. Trim is much, much, much more affordable. And based on how it goes, we're not sure if we're going to do it again. So don't miss out on this bonus. It's going to be so much fun. Our one-on-one clients will text us the funniest things, and I just feel like that additional support is so helpful for them. Okay, so what's included in trim? You have 1 week of discovery. So basically, you're going to have an entire week to learn the trim method, 6 weeks of boot camp, 1 week of implementation where you're going to practice what you've learned and have an additional support. You're going to get weekly workouts with at-home, beginner, and modifications. You're going to have access to a healthy passion for the entire 8 weeks, which is all of our macro-friendly recipes. You're going to get sample weekly meal plans. You're going to get a private Facebook group for accountability where you're going to post your nutrition, post your goals, and we'll give feedback and tell you exactly what to do to reach your goals. You're going to get access to all of our guides from our healthy cocktail guide, travel guide, holiday guide, recipe guide. We've added the travel guide workouts. So if you are traveling, we've got like resistance band workouts. You can stick to it. You'll have access to me, chef and nutritionist, and Val, personal trainer. And you'll have daily education posts so you understand, again, what you're doing, not just what you're doing, but why. and you'll get so much more than that, because I don't, again, want to spend another half hour on here telling you all the things you could trim, but it is amazing. It's all for only $25 a week or $199 investment. So how to sign up, you're going to either use the link that I posted in the chat box, or the one that you're going to receive in your email. I think the email goes out at about 8:15 tonight. And make sure you sign up by midnight tonight, so you get the bonus week with Val and I. You get to text us all you want, and we'll be there to help you out. You'll also receive your trim guide when you sign up. So we always encourage people to sign up early, because it gives you an entire extra week to read and learn. So when we kick off Discovery Week, you're like way ahead of everybody. To be honest, 75% of our signups happen Monday of Discovery Week. And those women are literally kind of behind the ball. They catch up quickly and it's great, but if you can sign up now and get all your information, why wouldn't you? And honestly, the only regret we get from clients is they didn't start trim sooner. Okay, so that is the end of the presentation. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of my screen so I can answer questions. But I really hope that you guys take advantage of this bonus. It's gonna be so awesome. Like I mentioned, I have so much fun chatting with all of our ladies. All right, so stop share. Okay. So let me go through these questions. If you guys have questions, please keep posting them, and I'll keep answering them. Okay. If your body gets used to low calorie or low carb diets over time, how does it not get used to the carb cycling? So the reason it doesn't get used to carb cycling is because it's a variation. So again, you're basically going to be varying low carb to high carb to low carb to high carb to basically keep your body on its toes. Now, with trim, we teach you how to calculate your macros. So you're going to do a basic macro calculation the first couple rounds, and then we actually have you up your calories. And what that's going to do is keep your metabolism going and keep supporting your body to build lean muscle, which is going to keep boosting your metabolism. So what I taught you tonight, if you do that consistently on long term, it could get used to it, but most likely it won't, because it is such a variation. But exercise will combat that, as well as changing up your calories, changing up your macros will combat that. So if you do plateau, which we have had clients that have done 3 or 4 rounds, or who are in VIP that have plateaued, that will just adjust something and they'll get right back on track. That's a great question. Infertility. So the reason why trim or carb cycling can help with that is because, again, the low carb diets can mess up your hormones. Adding in carbs and carb cycling, again, talk to your doctor first and maybe look, do some research and read. But Val is an expert on this because she was able to get pregnant after losing weight and carb cycling. But it helps with infertility because it helps your body to rebalance those hormones, and hormones are the reason that a lot of us can't get pregnant. Okay, I have so many whys. Let's see. Good influence for my kids. I love that. More energy, lower cholesterol. Love that, love that. So yeah, those are great whys. I love that. More energy is a big one. I think a lot of us need more energy because we have so much to accomplish and so much to do. So that's a good one. Vegetarian, yes. So I eat mostly vegetarian, like I mentioned, except for my meatball on Sundays. And I do incorporate a little bit of fish on low carb days, but we do have vegetarian options. Again, you're going to put, when you sign up for Healthy Passion, you're going to put, sorry, I keep seeing things popping up. You're going to actually put your preferences in there, so you can mark yourself as vegetarian, you can mark yourself as paleo, gluten-free, whatever you are, and it will actually give you recommendations based on that. So while the sample meal plans I send out are not vegetarian, you can use a Healthy Passion to build yours. I actually am working on creating some vegetarian and pescatarian sample meal plans as well. So there's going to be like a library you guys can download and pull from, instead of like right now it's just one goes out each week. So that is something that's coming. As we're adding new recipes to Healthy Passion coming in August, I'm working to develop a lot of low carb vegetarian and vegan recipes, because that seems to be an area that people just need a lot of help with. So yes, absolutely, you can do it if you're a vegetarian. I am mostly vegetarian, so I'm, again, take advantage of that bonus. You'll have access to me, text me all you want for a week, and I can help you get your meal plan set. All right, I'd love to see the weekly meal plan again. Yes, I'm gonna send the weekly meal plan out after. So you guys will have access to all of that. Also, I will send an email tomorrow. A Healthy Passion, we send out sample weekly meal plans as well. So if you guys want to sign up for that, it's literally, that's all you get each week is just your sample meal plan. Can you connect us to other women using your program in our area? Yep. When you join, we ask where you're from, and typically ladies will start to connect. If you do want to find people and they're not in your group, just let us know where you're from and we can help see if we can connect you. Absolutely. We have women from all over the world. So Okay, I don't see the 2 links. Yes, I can repost. So here is the link to sign up to get access to us texting for a week. And you'll get that as well in the email that should go out in 15 minutes. And then here's the link to the macro meal planning guide, which again will be in your email. Is a Healthy Passion access free or available when you join Trim? Yes. So if you join your first round of Trim, you get a Healthy Passion included. A Healthy Passion, since we've done so much to it in the last couple of months, starting in August, the price is going to go up. But Trim, if you are a returning client of Trim, so it's included in the first round. The second round is not included because the second round of Trim is less expensive. But Trim clients will always get the founder's rate of Healthy Passion. So you'll always get it at the lowest price. Also, when you sign up for your second round of Trim, you have the option to upgrade a Healthy Passion for like $7 a month. So it's very affordable. But yes, if you do your first round of Trim, it's included for 8 weeks. Let's see. Yes, so someone asked if the week of texting will be available for those of us who are already in Trim and won't have our second round until later in August. Yes, so what you're going to do is sign up as a returning client for your August round. HP means a healthy passion. And there's a website. So if you're signing up for your second round of Trim and you want access to the texting, go ahead and sign up tonight, and then shoot Val or Val's assistant an email, and we'll go ahead and put you in that group. Absolutely, yes. Anyone who signs up for Trim today can get that, even if you're a returning client. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I reposted the links. Can I do carb cycling and intermittent fasting together? Yes. So in Trim, we actually do carb cycling and intermittent fasting together. Honestly, that is another tool to add in that's going to get you some better results in carb cycling alone. But I'm a big fan of start with one, add in the second, add in the second. I'm struggling with eating at certain times because of my work schedule. So I'm not sure what your work schedule is, but if you want to let me know, I'm happy to give you some tips. We actually sent out a video, I think last week, from one of our clients who is a nurse. For those of you guys who work like night shift, how to make that work. But yeah, if you let me know your work schedule, I can definitely help you out. Okay, so how do I match low carb days with certain types of workouts? I do power yoga daily and HIIT workout 3 times a week. I'm a yoga teacher training, so I have to do yoga each day. Okay, so what I would do is I would recommend you do your HIIT workouts on your low carb days. So add your HIIT workouts in on your low carb days, and then do your power yoga on your high carb days. And then if you can, add in about 15 to 20 minutes of strength training on your high carb days as well. And that would probably be the ideal. So yoga is great. If you have to do your power yoga daily, maybe do your yoga every day of the week, and then do your HIIT Monday, Tuesday, and then you do maybe add in strength Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, if that makes sense, based on the carb cycle we talked about. Okay, answered that one. If you're doing Smo Baby instead of Trim, the offer would work for you as well. Yes. Yes, again, if you want, just sign up for Smo Baby and just shoot us a message and let us know, and we can definitely add you to that group. Is a Healthy Passion available when you join Trim? Yes. Perimenopause symptoms. So we actually have a lot of clients who are going through menopause or perimenopause or premenopause, and they have seen results. Again, talk to your doctor before adding any sort of workout routine in, but as far as the nutrition goes, yes. Again, we're basically just working to rebalance our hormones. A lot of women struggle with their hormones because they're not eating enough. So we're going to really figure out how much your body needs to support itself, and we're going to give you that. And we're focusing on a lot of whole foods, cooked from scratch. Again, a Healthy Passion recipes, every single recipe in there is healthy because it's focused on real foods cooked from scratch. Upgrading to Healthy Passion. So again, basically a Healthy Passion, you get it with your first round of Trim because the Trim's $199. Second round of Trim, we give it to you at a discount of $130, and you just pay an extra $15 to continue using a Healthy Passion. 90% of our clients continue using a Healthy Passion because it is such a valuable tool. But we wanted to stay competitive as a returning client with the price point. So it's kind of an add-on. How many meals should I eat if I get up at 3:45 and go to bed at 10? So I would recommend, let's see. So we want to work at least a 12-hour fast. Ideally, you want 16-hour fast. So basically I would eat breakfast or your first meal of the day. Let's see. So 10 p.m. Let's say you stop eating at 8, 9, that's 8 a.m. So that would mean you want to stop eating actually earlier than 8. I would say, what time do you usually eat dinner at night? I'm terrible at math, especially like on the spot. So basically you want to keep a 16-hour fast. Okay, so eat at 6 p.m. and then by 6 a.m. that's 12 hours. So I would break my fast around 10 a.m. and have your first meal of the day at 10, have your second meal of the day, maybe 1 or 2, have dinner at 6. And I think that would be ideal. So you're going to fast first thing in the morning when you wake up at 3:45 for a little while. So typically I get up at 6 and I don't break my fast till about 11. So I would break my fast no later than 10, but if you can get to 10, that would be awesome. If you're starving, start with a 12-hour fast. So break your fast at 6 a.m. So you're only up for a couple of hours, and then kind of work towards maybe break it at 7, maybe break it at 8. That's 14 hours. I mean, that's a great fast. And then try to work towards a little bit later. If you find that you're struggling to get to that 10 a.m., again, work towards it or try to stop eating a little bit earlier maybe. But 6 o'clock is pretty normal for dinner. So I would stop eating after 6 and then try to wait until 10 a.m. to break my fast, or 9 a.m. But yeah, start with 12 hours first. Does that make sense? I can't believe you get up that early. That's impressive. I think 6 o'clock's a struggle sometimes. Yay, good. I hope that helps. Yeah, intermittent fasting. So there's a thing called Zero. It's an app you can download in the App Store, and it actually tracks your fast for you. So I'll push a button when I'm done eating, and then I don't think about it the next day. It just dings when it's time for me to eat. So it helps a lot mentally, because I think a lot of, okay, wow, that's awesome. Go girl. So yeah, I would definitely start trying to get to maybe 6 a.m. before you eat, and then push it back to 8, and then work. And you can even do it in half-hour increments, and then push it back to maybe 9 or 10. That would be probably ideal. Because I know after I work out, I'm typically hungry. So just work towards it. It takes some practice. But yeah, download Zero, because then you're not thinking about it when you wake up, and then it's like no big deal, and it dings, and I'm like, oh crap, time to eat. Perfect. So for me, I definitely have found that really helps. All right, so what other questions do you guys have before we wrap up? I hope this was valuable to everybody. I hope it helped you guys kind of understand what carb cycling is, how to make it work with your life, how to really see results from it. And if you guys do have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. All the emails that you guys got for this training are coming from me, so just hit reply, and I'm happy to help. I will go ahead and make sure everyone gets the email tonight with the link to sign up for Trim. If you guys do want to join us and get access to the texting group, it's going to be awesome. Val and I are so excited. Our next round starts a week from Monday, so make sure you guys mark your calendars. If you guys do have any additional questions, again, just respond to the email. Yes, I hope so. It says recording, so if the recording saves and downloads, it's going to be sent out in the morning, and I'm going to actually attach the slides as well, so you guys will have all the information. So yes, hopefully everything will get sent to you. All the worksheets and everything are going out again tomorrow. The link's going out again tomorrow. If you do watch the replay and you want in on the bonus, just again, get in, click the link, sign up ASAP, and then just message us and say, hey, I missed the training, but I watched your replay, and we'll be more than happy to honor that. So yeah, if you guys have questions, I'll hang out here for like 1 or 2 more minutes. Other than that, I hope you guys got a lot out of this. I had so much fun. Definitely let me know if you enjoyed this. If you want me to do more of these, I'm hoping to do this more regularly. If you're not in my Healthy Carb Cycling for Women group on Facebook, get in there. I do post, like I mentioned, every single day. And I do get on live 3 days a week. So I love hanging out in there with everybody. We've got over 11,000 incredible women. So it's a great support group. It's a great place to find women, where you're living that you want to maybe hit up a workout with or whatever. So yay, Sherry, thank you. I'm so excited to see you continue rocking everything. You're amazing. This has been fun, guys. I'm so thankful for you guys for taking some time out of your busy evening to hang out with me. So cheers to all of you, and I hope I can help you guys continue on this journey and keep crushing your goals. So thank you, guys. If you guys have any other questions, just shoot me an email, and I'll talk to you soon. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'm going to end this now. Fingers crossed it all saves.